What's good, MGM fam?
First and foremost, subscribe if this is your first time watching. Like, comment, and share this video. We appreciate all the love we have gotten, and we will keep getting, I guess.
And before we get started, go ahead and click that like button if you're excited for this story that we're about to tell you.
I said like, comment,
subscribe.
I said subscribe, and I said
Okay,
like,
well,
comment, share.
I can say what I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here quiet this entire time.
Well, yeah, this one I'm be doing a lot of
So
talking.
this is part 1 of story time. Roommates. Never again.
We don't know how many parts it's gonna have because there's a span of 3 years, so it may have 3 parts. But you gotta see this one to understand the next ones. So we'll get right into it, I guess. It's disclaimer, like you said, we're not going to say any names. We're going to put business out there. We're just gonna be straight. We're gonna talk about what we experienced together and just a tad bit separately with roommates, because that's just how we met, honestly. Well, after we met.
How we met and how we got to where we are now.
Yeah, and so this video is not more so about us, but more so about the roommates that we had. And for any roommates that may see this,
yeah, just experience
don't take it to heart.
Yeah.
Don't take it to heart. All we're doing is allowing our YouTube family to kind of get to know us more, because that's what story time's about. It's about getting to know us and what's going on in our lives and what we've been through, so you all can potentially relate. We're probably gonna get a lot of calls and texts from the various roommates. Probably salty, probably not, but hey, it's a story at the end of the day.
So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and if you guys see him looking down at this notebook, it's because we had to literally put bullet points so we can tell the story right and in order, and we don't we might miss some stuff because
it's a lot. It's really a lot. Like I said, 3 years.
But
3 years. So anyways, it dates back all the way to Carbondale, where it was.
SIU?
Yeah, Salukis all day. No matter if we graduated or not, SIU forever. You know what I'm saying? Salukis. I was down there in school, and this was my sophomore year. I was in my first semester, and I decided to leave. I was actually with someone, my ex, and it was the relationship was honestly going to shit. So, it was kind of like one of those things where relationship's bad. School was actually going great. I was pulling great grades, despite all the things that were going on personally. But I just always had a fascination with trains. Most of y'all know, if y'all don't know, I'm a locomotive engineer / conductor, because they don't let me run all the time. And so I pursued the career with the railroad industry and decided to leave school for that. And fast forward, a couple of months after that, and I decided to go back to Chicago because that was the best option for me to go to Chicago for the railroad, because I had family, I had somewhere to stay for a little bit. So I actually stayed with a few teachers before I realized that that wasn't gonna work out either, because I need my own space. Appreciate all the teachers that helped me, that let me stay with them, but I always wanted my own space. That's why I didn't go back home either. If something I think, damn, I ain't going back home. I really wasn't going back home. I said that once I left for school. I said I'm not going back.
I feel like once you move out.
Yeah, I decided to stick it out with my teachers, because they love me so much and they looked out for me. At some point, I was just like, hey, I don't want to overstay my welcome, because my family's done that in the past with a few people. So I decided to go ahead and try to find my own space. And I realized that Chicago rent is expensive, and was a little high. So what I did was I hit up one of my old friends, and he was trying to move in with somebody else, and we just decided to all move in together. And we found a place. I'm not gonna say what the place is and nothing like that. But we found a place. It was a nice place with 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It was decently priced, and we
spacious,
all it was
front room,
very big,
nice kitchen.
Really nice place. For where it was at, it was really nice, and it wasn't like a bad neighborhood. It was just like right in it was like a gym, or a diamond in the rough type thing. It was me and 2 guys, and one of the guys' girlfriend needed a place to stay because it was some family discrepancies, and it was getting a little, it was not the right space, I guess, for her to be where she was at. So she moved in. I have to mind y'all because of where the story may go. She moved in rent free. So it was 4 people in there. And she honestly moved in kind of right when we all moved in. That wasn't the plan, but it just happened. You know, me and one of the other guys, we were really adamant about trying to help women and try to make sure that, you know, especially people we mess with, they good. You know, seriously. I mean, actually, I was a rape advocate down in Carbondale, actually, and sexual assault advocate. I always like to say it because I really was trying to, you know, do good by the women. But she moved in and everything was fine and dandy. We kind of went a year and realized that one of the roommates, man, he my bro. We still cool to this day, but boy, I couldn't live with him. Like he just didn't give a fuck. He was that roommate that was in college. You know, he had that college roommate that never really there or was there, but it's kind of a little junky. Like he wasn't dirty, he was just junky. And I mean, his room spoke for itself. You know, like I said, me and him still cool. We decided to, after a year when the lease was up, we decided that me and the other guy were gonna stay, and then me and the other, you know, the one that moved, he decided to move back home with his mom, save some money. And that was probably the best move for me and him because, you know, we was kind of butting heads a little bit. So it was us 3, and we decided we needed another roommate. We decided that room was free because it was me and my roommate and his girlfriend. They both were staying in one room. We had the middle room just open, you know. So we decided, hey, we might as well rent this out to save us all on some money. And you know, we're trying to figure out who we're gonna rent it out to, and it was the best option. And so we decided to. My roommate had a friend, and you know, we let her come over. She introduced herself. She said that she was very cleanly, and she kept to herself. She, you know, didn't mind moving in with us. So she moved in. When she moved in, everything was still fine.
How your demeanor just changed?
Because the story about to change a little bit. Everything was fine, but then, you know, I started realizing I'm a very cleanly person. I slight got OCD, and so I realized, you know, I realized that, you know, I remember that conversation she said. You know, when people tell me stuff, I try to remember it, you know, best of my ability. And she said she was very cleanly. And she made it seem like when she was living with whoever she was living with, she was like, yeah, they weren't cleanly. They didn't take the trash out. I was the one taking all the trash out. And then when she came in, she talking about something. I don't take the trash out. Women don't take the trash out. And I didn't make her mess. She's a roommate. She's supposed to take her own trash out. We all had like our own trash, and what she would do, she would dump her trash in the kitchen trash can. And it's like, okay, you're gonna dump your trash in the kitchen trash can. We gonna take it out. You ain't you ain't my wife. You ain't my sister. You ain't You are a roommate. I barely know you. Take your shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm taking mine out. So that, you know, that was a problem. It was just, she was very difficult. You know, very difficult person. And so I kind of, and some of it, you know, it was just odd. And honestly, I think her boyfriend really didn't like the fact that she was staying with 2 guys. And you know, one was a girl, but she was staying with 2 guys. And I guess maybe he was threatened by me, or maybe he thought that I wanted her. I didn't want her. She wasn't my type at all. And so at that point, this is
gonna talk about how she's staying.
Well, I wasn't gonna talk about she just had a very foul odor to her sometimes. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna really come at her like that. So I mean,
you don't come at everybody else.
Well, it's only like I got something to say about her, but this is when I kind of introduced you a little bit more. So this is when I went down to school. I went down to Carbondale for my birthday.
You don't even have to get into that. Another story time. How we met. Link will be in the description below, so he doesn't have to get too much into how we met and blah blah blah. We basically met at a breakfast
in Carbondale,
and came back to Chicago, started talking.
Yeah. So it was, again, y'all. It's me. It's the nasty girl. I'm just gonna call her nasty girl at this point. And it was my roommate and his girlfriend. So after we met, she was coming over a lot. You know, I was doing my own thing. The other 2 roommates were doing their own thing. The middle roommate, this is when it gets real. For those that keep watching, y'all finna die laugh with it. She, I guess, was getting irritated with us, and as such, we were getting irritated with her. And so it was very odd when her boyfriend that always came over, slept over all the damn time, washed his ass all the damn time. And I used to tell her, like, hey, your boyfriend can't sleep over like that. Because if he's paying, like, I care about bills, I care about, like, what I'm paying for and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay for some other dude to wash his ass. You know what I'm saying? And Mercedes weren't doing all that when she moved in, really. Like, actually, I don't think you did that really at all the first couple of weeks you were staying with me.
I was doing, like, bird baths.
Yeah, she was too scared to get in the tub for some reason. But like, but the thing was, and it's not like he couldn't like do it every once in a while. He was over there like almost damn it every night washing up. It was like, come on, man, that's not cool. Cooking, just
like he lived there.
Like he lived there. It was very odd. I was like, hold on, man, this is 6 people in this house now. This is kind of odd, especially when one of them ain't paying the bills. And so she felt some type of ways about something. So her boyfriend moved literally right across the street from us. I was already suspicious that she was going to probably move across the street because her boyfriend moved across the street. And she was seeming real odd, you know what I'm saying? But so she stayed. She didn't move across the street somehow. She stayed. Her boyfriend was there for a couple months. And one day, me and Mercides, because we was kicking it hard, we were going to the field with one of our other friends. Remember we were at the field, and you remember one of the roommates called and said, oh, she's moving out. You remember? And so we were at the field throwing football around, and one of the other roommates was there. And like I said, the other nasty girl, she was kind of like acting weird.
You're saying the other nasty girl. The nasty girl. You're saying the other like it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the nasty girl was like acting very weird. And so one of my roommates called me and said, hey, she about to leave. And I'm like, what you mean she about to leave? He's like, come back home. Let me show you. Let me explain what you're like. She packing up. She couldn't move. And mind you, this is literally out of freaking nowhere. It wasn't like we got a month's notice. We got even a 2 weeks notice.
That was the most awkward day.
It was
like coming back with y'all. You were pissed.
Yeah, I mean, because it was like, dang, like that, man, that you don't do people like that. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you like them or not, you don't. One, like I wasn't per se her friend, but the other roommate was the one with the girlfriend. It was her. It was his friend. So it was like I always feel that way when like your friends are you bogus. Like that's not a friend, and that's why I don't fuck with people that do people bogus. So she just up and left. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason she left, and this is why this is so funny to me. She said that I think she had, it was either bronchitis or laryngitis. One of those two, where her throat was swollen, and it was because she was allergic to a cat. Now again, I can't remember which one it was. We looked it up, and it was something that you couldn't, there wasn't a reason, like you couldn't get allergic, you couldn't get sick like that because of a cat. And she blamed it because the roommate girlfriend had a cat. We got her a cat for Valentine's Day. It was very sweet and all that good stuff. She claimed she was allergic to the cat and that's why she couldn't stay there. And mind you, low-key, she was smoking. And I guess she didn't smoke like that, but she started back smoking a little bit. And I think that's the reason why, because her throat got dry. And I think it was, I feel like it was like laryngitis or something. But she lied and said that she couldn't stay there because of the cat.
Either way, she didn't let you guys know. Y'all just came back.
And she didn't let us know.
And it was just boxes like all in the kitchen, her chairs, like everything. She was like getting everything ready.
But you know what was funny though? What was really funny was before we left for the field, I saw her have all her canned food there, right? Like all over the table with boxes. I'm thinking.
Oh, you said you thought she was going to
donate
it.
She was going to donate the food to a shelter or something, right? So I thought nothing of that when I went to go leave for the field. And man, she dogged us, man. She did us bogus. And the big kicker, remember that her boyfriend stayed across the street? A couple months later, when she left us and just high and dry, she ended up across the street.
She moved right across
Go
the street.
Fucking figure.
Left y'all hanging.
So.
Oh, and then she wasn't trying to pay y'all. Remember?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So she left and she was behind a month. She never, and still to this day, she's never paid that rent up. And she still claims that she was writing that. And even we got our landlord involved in that. It was like, hey, and she was like, yeah, it seems like she owes you guys a month worth of rent. Now he couldn't do nothing about that because she went on a lease. But we just wanted to see if we were actually tweaking or did she really owe us money. So the goofy girl owed us money, but she didn't really want to give us our money. So, honestly, screw her. I'm still kind of pissed by that. She tried to reconcile a couple, maybe like 6 months ago. Like, I don't play about my money. You screwed us. You never paid us.
You know you friends with her.
No, I haven't talked to her. Like, I don't play. When somebody do me bogus, it's a wrap. I don't play around. I don't play around with that.
I had been staying with a friend for a couple of months because I had came back from school. I was living with my mom, and then it just wasn't working out. So I left and I moved in with my friend, and I was there for like a couple of months. And literally, like, so when I moved in at first, she made it seem like it was her place. And she also, I didn't know that it was a studio. And had you ever been upstairs? No, you never been upstairs. You never saw it. Yeah. So it was a studio, and it was literally like me, her, and her boyfriend staying in a studio apartment. And they were having a lot of problems. And it was like I was put in the middle of a lot of stuff because I was living there and I was the only one seeing this stuff. So they would try to get me to pick sides and all of that. And I'm not trying to side with my friend because some of the situations it was like, you're wrong. But at the end of the day, it's like, you're letting me stay here. I'm appreciative and stuff like that, but I'm not going to continue to put myself through this, especially when there's situations where it's getting really crazy, where the police are getting called and things like that. I'm not trying to get involved in situations like that where, one, I feel like my life is in danger, or I feel like other people's lives are in danger. So when their roommate had moved out, I was already thinking about it, because I was there pretty much. I really didn't want to be at home, where I was staying. So I will always be with him, or we would go out somewhere, or I'd just be like with you pretty much like every day. And then so when she moved out, he was like y'all were looking a little bit, but then you were thinking like, why don't I just ask Mercides? Mm-hmm. So y'all, the room was vacant in the middle, and he asked like, hey, do you think you can move in? Do you want to move in? And it wasn't like you didn't make me feel forced or anything. You just like asked like, hey, do you want to move in? You're pretty much here all the time anyway. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am pretty much there like every day. So I moved in, and I moved into his room. So we still had the one room vacant. So that's that. It was just pretty much empty, and I was living with y'all. Yeah. And then I was paying rent. Once I moved in, I was paying rent because I had a nice little job, so I was paying rent. And also I left my old roommate on a good note too, because they were letting me stay there until I got on my feet, and then I started working for the airport, and I was making like really good tips and really good money. And before I left, I dropped like $400 because I felt like they really helped me out for those couple of months because I was kind of struggling, trying to figure out. That was my first time being out on my own. Like I went away to school, but like really being on my own. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So we're gonna stop it there.
So I moved in.
Yeah, and
it's 4 people.
It gets way crazier.
So make sure you guys stay tuned for part 2.
Part 2. Look, this is like a chapter 5. We don't know how long it's gonna go. But no, seriously, it's gonna get way crazier. So definitely check it out. If you like this video, definitely like it. If you comment, if you had similar situations, if you had a crazy roommate story, comment and let us know about it. We'll definitely talk about it in the comments with you and interact with y'all.
Hit that like button if you guys are excited for part 2. Because we need you guys to interact and let us know what you like, because then we're just sitting here making videos, just dropping videos, and we don't know if you guys actually like the videos. Yeah. So let us know.
But like I know y'all probably was like, man, it wasn't like that really like satisfying. Probably it wasn't a lot of drama. But hold on, don't worry about it. Part 2 is gonna have so much more drama, so much more. So thanks for watching.
Bye.
Peace.